Good morning. This is case D388292, Dodds versus Dodds, set today for the return on reunification and financial issues, medical arrears, and then there's a motion to modify child support by defendant in opposition from the plaintiff. Counsel, kindly your appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Amber Robinson, bar number 10731, on behalf of Eric Dodds, who's present.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I forgot to say Dad has a lot of exhibits also that I saw. Go ahead.
Judge Frank Tony Burner, 5804, on behalf of Mom, who is not present. Your Honor, Ms. Dodds and myself spoke last week. I told her about the court date today. For some reason, she indicated to me that she had it written down for Thursday. She indicated to me that she's in Utah today.
Okay. Well, if you'd like her by phone, we can get her.
If we can try, that'd be great, Judge.
What would be the number?
818-292-0768.
Did you get that, Helen? Thank you. I did read the August report, but I didn't know about this. This June one's shorter. Hold on.
Good afternoon, this is Jennifer Dodds. Hello? Hello? Hello?
What?
It's 818-292-0768, right?
0768, yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Hello, is this Jennifer Dodds?
Hi, this is Helen Green calling for Family Court. We're in open court right now with your attorney, Frank Tony, and opposing counsel and the plaintiff. Would you hold for one moment while I put you on speaker so you can participate in the hearing? Okay, one moment.
Jennifer, this is Judge Elliot. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Good morning. We just called your case, and because you miscalendared it for a different day, Mr. Toda gave us your phone number. Are you working or driving or anything? If you are, can you pull over?
Yeah, I just pulled over outside of my doctor's office.
Okay, good. I don't want you to drive while we're doing this. All right. Let's have some comments on, argument on the motions and comments on the reports. If you'd like to start, Amber.
Well, it's Frank's motion on the financials.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, that's technically all we're here for, Judge. However, the reports have also been, we've both reviewed all the reports as well. But with regard to the child support, Judge, this was a circumstance that necessitated a motion a while back because Your Honor had indicated that one had actually never been filed when everything had happened. The motion speaks for itself, and in fact, Jen can probably even give us an update with regards to her current work status as any judge. At one point, Jen had indicated that she might be relocating. She's in Utah today, so when we filed the motion, Jen was making in the neighborhood of $800 a month, working as much as she could around the appointments and everything else that she has going on here. That was the request for child support at the time, but if you want to canvass or ask Mom what her current work status is, we might be able to get a little bit better information at this point.
Jennifer, do you want to describe where you're at with your business? It sounds like from the report that you're thinking about relocating. Is that to expand your business, or what's going on?
Yes, Your Honor. So I was offered an internship to finish my 2 degrees and collect all of my units that I was unable to complete over the years. And I've been offered a position and to continue doing my notary work to make sure that I pay for my children and pay Mr. Dodds whatever he feels, and the court feels is a just payment for child support. But I'm going to be finishing my 2 master's degree with a combination JD for advocacy trial law in India. But I'll be traveling. I'm not giving up residency in Nevada because we decided to keep the condo for my daughter, who is currently in school and transferring to Washington State in Pullman.
Okay.
So as far as your present income, Jen, what would you put it at? Is there any modifications or changes to the FDF that we filed?
No, there is not. Everything has always been the same.
Okay.
So when you say you've been offered an internship, is an internship all you need? You didn't need any more classes?
At this point, I've been doing CEUs this whole time over the past 10 years, and then volunteering all over the country in different organizations such as Greenpeace, Never Give Up Foundation, founded by Matthew Cox in Nevada. And I've been volunteering and helping the community in the autistic and in the school district, and just keep volunteering my services so I can be a part of the children's lives, the boys' lives now, and attend all of their activities if I can. Half the time I can't, besides just to keep a roof over our heads, you know.
Well, where is this going to be? I mean, is it going to be in Nevada?
Well, yeah, I mean, I will be coming in for appointments, and the school is online, and then I make an appearance, I think it's once every month, and then it's just kind of the new wave of education now for working single parents.
Right. But the report says something about moving to California. Is that happening?
No, I'm not changing residency at all. No, I'm just going in when I need to go into class.
Okay. So it's in California where you have to go once a month?
Yes, it is.
Okay, got it. All right. Any questions, Amber, for her?
Oh, a whole bunch, Your Honor. She has told Marcia anyway, and other people, that she has moved to California. She has indicated to Marcia that her meetings with the boys will now have to be during the week because she's living part-time in California. This is the first time I've heard of anything about volunteering and internships and all of this stuff. Our opposition was to her actual motion saying, I cannot work because I am so tied up in court, psychiatric appointments, therapeutic appointments. What I would point out to the court is we don't have any updated Melissa Adams records. She has missed, I think, the entire month of July with her meetings with Marcia and the boys. She's gone back on supervised visitation. My overall point being she has more than plenty of time to work. The court saw in our opposition, we laid it out. She advertises online and she boasts how much she can make, and she's talking all the time to the kids about how much money she is making. I make X amount per notary service, and a couple of years ago when this went up, it was about $450 she had done. Today it's about $4,500 at the time of the filing of our opposition. So she would be averaging a gross income based on the numbers that are indicated on notary.com or wherever of about $93,000 a year. In her most recent financial disclosure form in November of 2016, she indicates a gross monthly income of $10,000 a month. She somehow has money to go from here to there. I don't think she's traveling all around the United States, Your Honor. I think she's going back and forth from Vegas to California. She's indicated to her attorney today that she's in Utah, but she's indicated to this court that she just drove past her doctor's office. This lady is all over the map. There have been recent things going on, switching to the custody side of it. I guess I'll get there in a minute. But my point is she's making money, Your Honor. And if she's not making money, she's being supplemented by someone, her mother probably. So this needs to be counted as income. She's trying to shy away from child support that my client has generously waived time and again over the years. She only had to start paying as of September 1, 2015. She has made 0 payments on that, Your Honor. So now she is trying to modify child support. She hasn't been paying, nor has she ever paid.
And Judge, if I could just correct one thing. Ms. Robinson said that my client filed an FDF in November of 16 claiming that she was making $10,000 a month. The FDF filed on November 4th, 2016 indicates that her year-to-date pay was $10,000, not...
It's on the next page, Frank. It's under business income.
Oh, no.
I was thinking about, in this case, just setting an evidentiary hearing on the arrears, on child support going forward, open discovery on income, whatever. I mean, it would just be like less than a half a day of an evidentiary hearing, it seems like, if you guys did your discovery ahead of time.
The thing is, Your Honor, and I agree, that's probably what needs to be done, but when we've done discovery before, she doesn't provide really up-to-date financials. She's self-employed. She's hiding money, and I don't really know where to find it. I tried subpoenaing last time Michaela's bank account records because I think she was doing something with Kayla, and it's just going to be hard to prove what she is actually earning. I think she is more than capable, and I think my client is more than generous of just accepting that $478.66 a month.
Is that what he wants to do?
Yeah, I don't think he wants to.
But she wants to lower it. I really think that I do need an evidentiary hearing in this case. I mean, I could hear the discovery motions if you were not able to get her to comply. You could ask for every notary. I mean, when you do it, when you get a notary, you have to sign a book. They have to have their own book of everyone that they have witnessed signatures. So she's going to have all of that information.
What about cash deals? I mean, that's impossible. Do they still sign it if it's a cash deal?
Yeah. You have to put, as a notary, you can lose your license or your bonding if you don't follow that rule. Because that's one way to ensure that no one's lying about it, I don't know. I mean, I just see this case on a regular basis as if it's Old Home Week. And I feel like it's time to get a short evidentiary hearing together so that we can agree on what the arrears are and agree on, unless you guys agreed on that, I have not gotten.
I think we're close.
I think we're good on the arrears. All we wanted were those two offsets, the one for the Conzo and the one for the payments that she made to the VA's office. But they weren't very big. Like, it averaged like 50 or 60 bucks. But Judge, really, the only thing we needed to do is establish child support going forward.
What her income is, and that, I mean, trials on that are pretty common. What is someone's income, especially if they're self-employed? So, Jennifer, you need to provide as much information as possible, including, copies of your notary book and everything showing what you're earning. They can put on a case if you don't provide the information. They can put on a case with things like they used for one of their exhibits today, what they're getting offline of what you're advertising about what you're making or what you can make. And if you don't prove otherwise and you haven't provided proof, then the court is going to be a little bit more, leaning toward what other evidence is there out there about what you're saying you're making, whether it's in social media or on these websites. Bottom line, you need to disclose everything you possibly can, showing what your income is, and you can give all that stuff to Mr. Tody's office, who will provide it to Amber's office.
I believe, Frank, didn't we do that about a year and a half ago? I provided phone records, my all to one of his associates, and I photocopied every single financial statement.
But a year and a half ago, were you being a notary then?
Yes.
Yes, I've been a notary for 4 years.
Okay.
But I guess we would want current financials, and those financials were lacking. Tax returns were lacking.
So tax returns, the notary.
Yeah, the office has that.
Notary book.
Yep.
Or a copy of it. And
yep.
What else do you have? Do you have like 1099s?
Yeah, I have I do my taxes through the same person in Nevada, through H&R Block, which has been provided every single year. Ms. Robinson did get a subpoena granted, and she did go into my Wells Fargo business account. I got a letter from Wells Fargo about that, so she has access to all that. And then I believe Mr. Dodds had access somehow through social media into one of my work accounts through iTunes and through Google sharing. So I had to shut down one of my emails because a lot of my clients' information was compromised. And when they do loan applications for properties, I basically have their driver's license and their social security number. So I had to make a police report in California that my email had been compromised, my work email. And I have that police report to send over to your office, Your Honor.
Okay, well, what I really care about right now is getting accurate information on income. I mean, the only reason this is still before me is on the reunification, which looks like it's having some trouble, and on the arrears and child support going forward. That's it. That's what it's before.
Your Honor, if I can touch briefly on some of the custodial issues. One, I think what was important to note from Marcia's report is Jennifer's phone call that seemed very manic. She described it as manic, and that Jennifer was all over the place. Two, that since Jennifer has been on supervised visitation, and I haven't listened to these recordings yet myself because I've had trouble downloading them, so I haven't given them yet to Mr. Tody. But Marcia has access to all of these phone recordings. That is what put Jennifer back on supervised visitation. So Jennifer has not done any reunification or any supervised visitation because she's been mad about the supervised that was imposed by Marcia. Nixon, that relationship just is not getting any better. I think what's important to note from the first report is that the children are aligned with their each respective parent, and that Jennifer continues to feed Ethan that when he's 13 he'll be able to get to choose where he lives, and there's that manipulation still going on. What we're really concerned about right this second, Your Honor, this just happened yesterday. We record all phone calls, and so she is supposed to call, I think, either in the morning between 6 and 8 or in the evening between 6 and 8, but she'll call Ethan whenever she wants to call him. I think he had in his headset, so we cannot hear Jennifer on the other end of the phone line, and I've told all of this to Mr. Tody. So we cannot hear what she is saying, but we can make out what Ethan is saying, and he's responding to her, talking about today, well, do you want me to just come up to the condo, Mom? I can't see you today, essentially. When I get some time, do you want me to just go over to the condo? I do want to see you, Mom, but I think Dad and Crystal are going to be really pissed at me. So it seems as if she's trying to draw him away from the school. I would ask for a specific order today because she was up at the school yesterday, Your Honor, even though she's supposed to be traveling. She was up at the school yesterday indicating her mother died, which I don't think is accurate. Just causing commotion up at the school. And
twice,
2 days in a row?
Two visits yesterday and like 3 or 4 phone calls. She was also calling last Monday, the first day of school, kind of harassing the school and everyone that's there. And that happens to be the school my wife works at, Your Honor. She hasn't done anything at Nixon's school. She just seems to be up there at Ethan's school trying to get a grab for him. And one of the last things Marcia told me is she sees Jennifer trying to make a play for Ethan. So, that's what's going on. And I'm kind of checking my phone every once in a while, making sure that Ethan's checking into class, that he's there, that she's not there trying to get him now. But the phone call from yesterday.
It's very unusual to have a split custody order unless there's a lot of good reasons why, because siblings should be together. I don't know if they're getting along anymore because of what I'm reading here, that they seem to be aligned with, each their own parent choice.
Another recent thing that has happened, Your Honor, and what is typical in this case is I would say about every 2 years, every year and a half to 2 years, she goes into one of her major manic episodes that lasts a couple of months, and I think we're in that right now, Your Honor. Between what Marcia is saying, these visits at the school, and then about 2 weeks ago, or visit last week, she calls the cops out to Eric's house, I think one time unsuccessfully, but gets them out there on another phone call, indicating that Nixon is going to commit suicide and that he is a harm to his brother Ethan, all based off on a text message exchange between her and Nixon 4 days earlier. So this is also repeated patterns of behavior of calling the cops. Cops came out. Both boys talked to the police. They didn't do anything, but essentially what she was trying to do was have Nixon admitted again to a psych ward.
They noted her as 421A, which is mental health.
In the report?
In the report said she was.
Obviously, I appreciate this. I mean, I appreciate that there is some sense of urgency of things of that nature. Obviously, we're not on for this. I don't even know if my client is an agreement that these things have indeed occurred or anything of that nature. I mean, I know she's hearing them now, but we're hearing this all for the first time, so I'm not exactly sure.
The report speaks to it, but
I realize that, but to some of it anyway. But I just don't know how far we're going with that today.
I mean, my client can file another motion yet again, but that's just what he's had to do about every year to 2 years based on Jennifer's behavior. He has to file a motion on her behavior, bring it back in front of this court. Right now, we're already on supervised visitations. I guess I'm just asking for maybe a complete limit on the phone calls for the time being. Ethan does better, and Eric speaks about this all the time with Marcia, that he does better when he's not seeing his mother and when he's not talking to her. When he comes back from a visitation with his mom, that's when the angst comes in, the anger, and all of that. And I think it's just because Jennifer works so hard in the short time she has with him, trying to get him over to her side.
well, is there a time that the regular phone call could take place, and that if the child wants to call her otherwise it can, but she'd only be calling at that one time?
We've agreed to that, Your Honor, in principle, but she still calls at whatever hours she wants. We had agreed to 6 to 8 o'clock in the morning. I even told her the other day between 7 and 7:30 in the morning is a great time to reach them, and she also has a nighttime window that she can call them, but she'll call at 10 o'clock at night to try
What's
and
the
reach them.
nighttime window?
I believe that is 7 to 9 o'clock at night, Your Honor.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Yes.
I will be submitting my phone records. What's going on is their father has parental controls over their phone, so he states that it's okay to call between 6 and 8. I go through Family Wizard to ask permission to speak to my children if they want to speak to me, and then I'm blocked or the phone is shut off because my son, both my sons, and my daughter used to have child phones, which is fine for them not to crank call or do anything, silly high schoolers might do. But it actually blocks me from calling. So I have my phone records to submit currently to your office and to Frank's office that shows me trying to get in touch with them from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., but he starts school at 7. And then his wife drives Ethan to school at 6 in the morning, where he sits by himself, and I can't get a hold of him because his phone is either compromised or not working properly.
Your Honor,
And that's why we have a phone call from just yesterday during the middle of the school day with Jennifer, because she's blocked. What we have is our Family Wizard emails from Jennifer to Eric trying to set him up, like, why am I blocked? I'm trying to get a hold of the kids. And he responds, not trying to be antagonistic, like, are you dialing the right number? You're not blocked, Jen. It's just more game playing on Mom's part, and tired of it.
Well, I'll submit my AT&T phone records. I have them on me right now. Would you like me, Judge Elliot, to get them to you before 4?
No, you need to get a copy to your lawyer, and your lawyer will determine what will happen with those.
Okay.
You were going to say something,
I was going to say, Your Honor, if I could be clear, the T-Mobile application that comes part of the service is it can shut the phone off from being able to get text messages or send from 10 o'clock to 6. That's why I've told her, if you're going to call in the morning, call between 7 and 8. He doesn't go to school at 7. He doesn't get there at 6. They leave at 6:30 to 6:45. They've got a 45-minute car ride that she can call him. So from 7 to 7:30, he's got plenty of time. He doesn't even start school until 8, so she's not even fully aware of his schedule yet. She seems to be at school quite often. So I don't know, Your Honor. She's all over the place. But she's got plenty of time to call, and she chooses whenever she wants to call.
Okay, Mom, are you limiting your calls to like between 7 and 7:30 or 7 and 8 a.m. in the morning and 7 and 9 at night?
I am doing my best, yes. About 75% of my phone bill is calling in between those times. But he had stated before, Mr. Dodds and Ms. Robinson, in some type of proposed negotiation, that I could call whenever to talk to the children because he really wants to co-parent with me. And so I obliged, but then on Family Wizard, it's almost like a different person is emailing me when I'm just asking to speak to my child on the phone.
Okay, well, I want you to limit it to between 7 and 7:30 or 7 and 8 a.m. and 7 and 9 p.m. and not 75%, but 100%. Okay?
Yeah,
If the child
I
wants
understand.
to contact you for whatever reason, they can, but I just want the calls from a parent to be at a scheduled time, not any old time. All right, so
I understand.
I'm going to set an evidentiary hearing and a calendar call.
We have evidentiary hearing for November the 21st at 1:30 p.m. Stack 1. November the 2nd.
Can you guys do that time?
You guys both have kids. That's Thanksgiving week.
Oh, I'm in town.
I'm not here.
It's Tuesday.
You're not here.
We're going to
Well,
be submitting.
Thanksgiving is going to be on the 23rd.
Yeah, but they're off that whole week,
They get
Your
the
Honor.
whole week off.
Oh, right, that's vacation. So, want to do it the following week? Do we have something? Is the court going to be closed for a week?
Yes, we have
Not.
the following week.
Oh, no.
Your Honor, would you be willing to make an order today regarding the school? Jennifer, going
December
up to
5th, stack 2.
December 5th, stack 2
December 5th, Tuesday.
at 1:30.
Yes. And the calendar call would be, still that would be November 21st, but take November 21st for a calendar call.
I am, yeah.
Okay.
You can always appear by
That's at
phone.
11 a.m.
Make an order regarding what now, Amber?
Jennifer going up to the school and calling them multiple times.
Well, you mean calling the school? Can you explain, Mom, what you're doing with regard to the school, going there and or calling?
Oh, I just, Marcia, Lee, and myself and Ethan had a phone conversation during therapy while I was in California and driving back to Nevada. And basically, Ethan had stated he would like some new clothes and some stuff for school that he didn't receive. And so he needed some vitamins due to his allergies, and some illnesses that are going on, genetic illnesses, like, I've been in the hospital a couple of times. And so I just was trying to get it to him before school started. And, once again, I don't understand totally, but Mr. Dodds had stated to Frank and myself and Amber that I could mail any day, anytime, anything for the children to his home to ensure that the boys receive their gifts, or just even toothbrush, toothpaste, and vitamins, just regular stuff. Ethan doesn't have a lot of new clothes because, it's just tight raising a lot of kids, So there's times where I will have some extra stuff that is new, and I try to mail it, and it doesn't always get to Nixon or Ethan for their birthdays or for, So then Eric decided to change his mind after stating that in a closed meeting, and then wanted to adhere to some court order that's from 2010, if you will. I'm not certain on the date. And so then I had to mail it to his new office, but he had moved offices, and I was trying to locate that, and it was difficult for me because I do respect the 100 yards from his office and 100 yards from his household. So it was just me going to the school and having Metro escort me to ensure the safety and no accusations could be made towards me by him or his wife or the school officials at Becker Middle. And all the officer did was just monitor the situation to make sure that the area was safe in Summerlin, so I wasn't accused of anything.
Well, right now,
Because I think that's what the officers do when you call 311 in the state of Nevada.
like a piece, yeah, it's civil standby. But listen, you are now on supervised visits, and so I would like you not to just show up at the school unless there's like an appointment for parent-teacher conference that you're involved in, or you're going to open house or orientation or something having to do with a parent needs to be there, and you let
Correct.
Dad know.
Your Honor, in closing, and I'm sorry to cut you off, I have tonsil stones. Actually, my throat is very sore. And the problem, I would just like Mr. Dodds to finish filling out Our Family Wizard, which he was ordered to do over 4 years ago by you. And I keep asking every day to please finish filling it out because I don't even know my kid's current doctors. I don't have access to anything. When I do call or I try to go by, they don't believe I'm the mother because I don't have their documentation. He took all of their birth certificates and all that stuff. So it's hard for me now that he's married with 2 other children, and I have to drive around on top of working, on top of school. And I've now, I'm physically sick from exhaustion right now, and I have to have surgery. But that's whatever. But I'm just trying to do what's best for the 2 boys that I'm the parent of. And so it would help everyone involved and not have to waste time and effort and money if he could just finish filling out the doctor's information, the financial information, because I believe the last financial information for him says he makes $2,500 or $3,600 a month, and I don't understand that. And so I'm trying to pay.
There is no basis. Mom, stop talking, please. Rest your throat. Listen to me. There is no basis for you to need to know what Dad makes because he doesn't have any financial obligation in the case. There is a basis for you to understand who the physicians are and, that kind of stuff, like whether they've had their recent shots and stuff like that. So, Dad, can you update that so that she has all that information?
Yeah, I don't have a problem updating. I've already given her the list of some things. She said at one point she would, and she did update Our Family Wizard with whose weekend it was and holidays and all that stuff. So I said, if I'll get you the information, you can put it on here. I don't use Our Family Wizard for that. I use it for
Well, you can send it
appointments
to her by
that's-
email if you have a separate list and she wants to put it in there.
That's what
fine.
I sent her the stuff on that. I told her last week, I said, I'll get you the doctor's information. That's the only thing I think I have left. I asked her, what is your list of things? And I gave her everything that I had then, and I said, I'll work on the doctor's information, dentist, vision, all that stuff, and compile that. And then you can put it on Our Family Wizard if that's where you want to store it. I don't particularly use it
Yeah,
there.
you can send it to her, and
Okay,
then, Mom,
thank
you
you.
can fill it out on Our Family Wizard.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. So,
Okay.
So trial coming up, Your Honor, is just financial issues.
yeah, it's going to be financial issues, but if there's issues relative to, I'm not going to keep coming back on these reunification hearings. It just seems to me like Nixon has kind of, he doesn't really want to budge right now, and I don't want an evidentiary hearing on something like this at the age that he is. We could have one if you want one, if you feel like there's a problem, and you don't want to just wait. But at the same time, I don't know what I'm going to order that's going to make him change if the therapist can't help
In
him.
regards to Ethan, it might be helpful for the court to hear some of these conversations, so maybe we could devote a little bit of time that day towards that.
Yeah, to listening to
Well, how we can bring this to a close, like what is going to be the order?
Well, Judge, in my opinion, the the current orders regarding the counseling and reunification speak for itself.
She's missing a lot of the time.
Well, I appreciate that, but that's I'm going to take Jennifer at her word that she's having health issues at the moment. But again, Judge, with regard to that, the ball's in her court. If and when she wants to commit to or if and when she can commit to the reunification, she does so. But if not, everything just stays in place. I don't know what further orders the court can make, regardless of what any audio recording would tell you.
Well, when you're trying to reunify with somebody, part of it is being consistent and stable in your attendance and showing that you really care and, being part of it,
Of course.
fully immersed in it.
Understood.
And if she's going to just put a big toe in here and put a little toe in over there and not really be involved, the child's not going to be able to develop trust, and it's not good for the child to have to go through that because they're basically getting a message when she's not participating that there's something wrong. Even if she's got her own schedule of what she's doing, kids don't think like that. They think it's all about them.
Well, I understand that, Judge, but I guess I'm not really sure what order could be put in place as a result of that. I appreciate that she's missed a lot of counseling lately.
Usually if somebody does that enough, we come up with a number that she can't miss any more than this number, or it's over for the child. Why does the child stand by and wait?
Then I would suggest doing that, Judge.
What do you think is a good number of missed sessions? I'd say 2 in a row and it's over. because that is too many.
Jen, is that something you can comply with?
Mom.
Yes, I can. There's an appointment on the 26th. I just got off the phone with Marcia before you called. We've scheduled also extra time to spend based on Mr. Dodds' schedule. She's going to, quote unquote, monitor extra hours during the week and the evening, but she's waiting to hear back from Eric about that. So yes, I can.
Okay, don't miss 2 in a row.
Your Honor, there's, so far, just for the record, I think you see it, there's 3 that's been missed so far in a row for various reasons. But at the last meeting that Jen wasn't there, the week before that, she was texting Ethan how she was in California and at the beach and all this, and then so she doesn't show up for that meeting. So I think that does send mixed messages. And Marcia had kind of said, look, Eric, you're not my client, Jen's not my client, the boys are my client, so have them in here once a month. I want to stay in contact with them. Is kind of where it was left. So we had booked one for 2 weeks out, and I think we're just going to kind of continuing to go on that path unless Jen and Marcia work out a time that works for the boys and all that too. But Marcia was like, I don't know where to go with this anymore at that point, except for just staying in contact with the boys, because
And again, Judge, it's August 22nd today. Going forward, if she misses 2 in a row, it's over. Jen can have communication with the therapist, and if they can schedule additional appointments, that'd be great.
Okay. So, if you need me to hear a discovery issue, if you don't, neither one of your clients have a lot of money to spend on this. If you're okay with, notice an opportunity just through a letter instead of filing a motion, I could have a telephonic conference or whatever to get the documents. You guys work pretty well together, though, don't you? Generally.
Yeah. We do.
I'm just saying, if you need that, I'd rather do that than have your clients have to pay to file a motion, because it's $200 and something bucks, whatever it is. All right? So I'll hear the discovery
Thank you, Judge.
in the form of a letter.
Thank you.
All right, you guys have a good afternoon.